After 14 long years, Incredibles 2 was finally released. And it wouldn't be a Pixar film without some hidden secrets. Stay tuned to find out the biggest secret you probably missed. Can't get enough of Pixar in your life? Then subscribe to The Things for more awesome videos. Now let's get to the 10 secrets you totally missed in Incredibles 2. Animal inspiration. Animators get their inspiration from lots of things, but in Incredibles 2, 3 of the new characters were inspired by creatures from the animal kingdom. Remember Reflux? He's one of the best new additions to the Supers. He's an old man who can vomit lava, and that's more than a little gross. Animators struggled to find a way to draw Reflux without totally grossing out the audience, so they decided to use a frog as their model. We totally see the frog-like appearance now. Another new character with animal-like design is billionaire Winston Dever. He's the guy who hires Elastigirl to help give Supers a better image. He's smooth, he's driven, he's fierce. He's a shark? That's right, his design is based on a shark. You can see it in his sharp-like features, skin-like forehead, and even his shark skin suit. His sister Evelyn is based on a land-dwelling animal. She's a cat. She looks approachable and laid back, but she's really quite calculating and confident. It turns out that she is the Screenslaver, the villain that hypnotizes people by hacking their screens. We totally understand now how she's a cat. They always say they look like they're plotting something. Character changes. A lot has changed since 2004, and animation technology has definitely improved. If you didn't watch the 2 Incredible movies back-to-back, you probably didn't notice the subtle changes. Not only is Bob, better known as Mr. Incredible, more worn out as a stay-at-home dad, he's also put on some weight. His outfits were deliberate too. As he gets more tired and burnt out, his clothing gets more drab. Edna Mode, everyone's favorite superhero fashion designer, looks stunning in her kimono instead of her black business outfit from the first movie. As far as the animation differences, she has a bit of a rounder nose. Even though the film picks up immediately after the first movie, Elastigirl appears to have grown out her hair a little. Maybe fighting the Underminer has that effect. She's not the only one with a different hairstyle. Dash seems to have found some volumizer. His hair is a lot taller. Dash is another major change. A new voice actor. Since it's been 14 years, they needed a new kid to voice him. Frozone has a pretty major update too. He's been working on his abs and now has a six-pack that wasn't there before. But in the age of Marvel and DC cinematic universes, we kind of expect our superheroes to look like Frozone. Pixar Easter eggs. Every Pixar movie has special references and uniting details. One of the biggest references is the number A113. It appears throughout every Pixar movie. A113 is the classroom where Pixar's biggest name animators studied at the California Institute of Arts. In Incredibles 2, we see A113 several times. We see it on the sign at the movies when Violet goes on a date, there's an office at DevTech with the number, and we also see it on the front of the train. Where else does it hide in Pixar films? In Cars, A113 is Mater's license plate. In Monsters University, it's an actual classroom. And in the first Incredibles movie, it's the cell where Syndrome keeps the rocket. When the Parr family gets Chinese takeout, they go to the same restaurant that's in Ratatouille, Monsters Inc., Inside Out, A Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2. We wonder if the animators order a lot of Chinese food when they're working late nights on these awesome movies. Who's hungry? Another nod to the Toy Story franchise is the appearance of a Planet Pizza truck. The last big Pixar Easter egg is the LUCKEY ball from the Pixar movie opening. It appears as a ball, and we also see a picture of the ball in Jack's nursery. Common Core joke. Bob has a lot of frustration when he becomes a stay-at-home dad. It's pretty relatable for the parents watching. Being a full-time parent is no easy job. At one point in the movie, Bob is helping Dash with his math homework. When Bob was a kid, he learned math one way, but Dash is trying to show him the way they were taught. It's totally different. Bob gets so mad. "Math is math! Math is math!" he yells. This might have sounded familiar to both kids and adults. How many parents get frustrated at the changes to math when they help their kids? If your parents were laughing in this scene, it's because this was a joke about Common Core math. Common Core is a set of educational standards that almost every state in the United States uses. The idea was to make sure every kid in the country was learning all the same things in the same way. Well, Common Core gets a lot of criticism. Lots of teachers hate it, and a lot of parents don't like it either. Common Core changed the way basic math is done. It doesn't always make sense to adults, and it's hard to learn a new method. This joke is definitely meant to appeal to the parents who get frustrated at homework time. Tribute to Bud Luckey. The next thing you missed isn't quite as funny as some of the jokes, but it's super sweet. There's a tribute in the credits to Bud Luckey. He played Rick Dicker, the guy over the superhero relocation program in the original Incredibles movie. But sadly, he passed away earlier in 2018. He was an amazing 83 years old, and he passed away from natural causes. But he's not just an actor from the first movie. He's a Pixar pioneer. Bud Luckey was one of the first animators to join Pixar. He was an Academy Award-nominated animator. He had voice acting experience too. He helped design some of the most iconic characters ever. Woody from Toy Story was designed by Luckey. He also worked on Finding Nemo, A Bug's Life, Cars, and more. If his voice in the original movie sounds familiar, you might have heard him voice Eeyore in the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie. He also voiced Chuckles the Clown in Toy Story 3, way back in the 1970s. Bud Luckey even worked on Sesame Street. Luckey is a total legacy in the world of children's entertainment and appreciated by generations. We're so sad that he has left us, but we know his legacy will last a long, long time. Recording studio secret. The voice actors in Incredibles 2 are amazing. They have such great chemistry together. You probably think they were all in the recording studio together, right? Wrong. Holly Hunter, who voices Elastigirl, revealed the secret in an interview. Each voice actor was only in the studio with the director, Brad Bird. Bird would play the parts of all the other characters and give individual directions to the actors. He would describe the scenes to each voice star, and they could see the storyboard. Holly Hunter said she didn't even have a script in front of her. Wow! Brad Bird must have been really great at describing the scenes to the actors. He totally had a vision in his head and was able to put it together from individual recordings. And this just goes to show how great all the actors are. They didn't even have each other to play off of or know all the parts. That takes some seriously talented acting and directing, which just makes us appreciate the awesome cinematic masterpiece even more. If you think that's a huge secret, wait till you hear the biggest thing Bird tried to spy you. Top secret theme songs. In Incredibles 2, businessman Winston Dever wants to improve the image of supers through staged acts of heroism. To prove he's really a fan, he sings a few bars of their theme songs. Elastigirl is totally not feeling it. The scene doesn't last long, but it does leave us wondering, what are these top secret theme songs? Well, if you stay through the end credits, you can hear the full versions of the theme songs for Elastigirl, Mr. Incredible, and Frozone. The songs have a very retro feel, like the costumes and the scenery in the movie. The composer Michael Giacchino gave songwriter Alex Lacamoire free range to write these 3 theme songs. Lacamoire's superpower is definitely songwriting. Ever heard of a little musical called Hamilton? Yeah. He worked on that with the Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he also worked on the amazing soundtrack from The Greatest Showman. The songs are simple yet catchy, and they really add to the classic superhero vibe. Here Comes Elastigirl tells us nothing is out of her reach, literally and figuratively. Chill or Be Chilled is just as cool as Frozone, and Pow 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 shows us just how tough Mr. Incredible really is. Not that we've listened to them a million times or anything, don't judge. Okay, maybe we have. Dynaguy Statue. Winston Dever loves superheroes. Seriously, we're pretty sure no one loves superheroes more than him, except maybe his father. He mentions how his father had a giant statue of Dynaguy built, but it's not as random as it may seem. It's a throwback to the first film. Remember Edna Mode's one rule about superhero costumes? That's right, no capes. Capes are totally unnecessary, and they get in the way. We learned in the first film that it's Dynaguy's cape that ultimately leads to his demise in a freak superhero accident. This is what led Edna to form her no capes rule. Winston Dever's mention of the statue serves a few purposes in the second film. First, it shows how he got his father's love of superheroes and gives him some credibility. It also serves as an Easter egg from the first film to tie the two together. The Dynaguy statue also serves as a tribute to the life of a great super, as well as a warning to other supers not to meet a familiar fate. Listen to Edna and don't wear capes. Who knew one little line and one giant statue could mean so much to the movie? Batman. Although we don't know exactly when Incredibles 2 takes place, it has a very retro 1960s feel. And in the 1960s, Batman was a popular TV show. There are many Batman references throughout the Pixar movie. Dash says his powers define him and that he heard that phrase on a TV show. This is a nod to a line from the original Batman TV show. And if The Incredibles takes place in the 60s, it makes sense that Dash would be watching Batman. Mr. Incredible has the Incredibile, a car reminiscent of the Batmobile. When it goes in the the water, there's even an original Batman sound effect. If you look closely, you can see a bat signal in the sky near DevTech. The funniest Batman reference is more modern. Elastigirl takes a look at her new costume. She describes it as dark and angsty. This is a jab at the dark vibe of both the latest DCU movies and the Christian Bale Batman movies. We love how deep the Batman references run in the new movie. As such a classic superhero, it's only fair that Batman is given a fitting homage in a movie about balancing powers with normal life. The next return of the Underminer? Director Brad Bird is not a guy who makes a lot of sequels, let alone threequels. That explains why there were 14 years between the first and second Incredible movies. But if you look carefully at the end credits, you might see a possible hint of a third movie. At the end of the first movie, the Underminer appears, and the movie ends on a cliffhanger. The second movie starts immediately after the first movie ended. The Incredible family must fight Underminer, but he escapes. In the end credits, we can see Underminer's drill coming up from the surface. Is this a hint at a third movie? We don't know, but we sure hope so. The actor who plays Underminer is an Easter egg of his own. John Ratzenberger voiced Ham in Toy Story and has appeared in every Pixar film since. He also played Mac in Cars, the teacher of the fish school in Finding Nemo, and Yeti in the Monsters, Inc. franchise. He's considered Pixar's good luck charm. Do you think we'll see Underminer again? Will there be a third Incredibles movie? Don't be shy. Let us know in the comments. And those are the 10 secrets you totally missed in Incredibles 2. Hey, check out our community page and don't forget to subscribe.